Welcome to the channel, Gaming Army. This video finds us already into the action. We are playing domination mode on Tourmaline Desert. We're in our Panther. It is the Panther 10K. I have this one outfitted with a single, yes, a single heavy PPC in my right arm. I also have some laser AMS for additional protection, and other than that, I'm just banking on my jump jets and maneuverability to keep me safe. And I'm also using those jump jets to do some Pop-Tart shenanigans on the enemies. Now what I'm looking for here is shots of opportunity. I'm also spotting and locking targets wherever I can, trying to get that information back to my teammates so they know what's going on the battlefield. Because it looks like the enemy is coming out of Echo 6 into Echo 5 and kind of balling up there in the Echo 5 low ground. So we want to help out any way we can, whether it's fire support or intel. Now the Panther is one of those light mechs that you either love or hate, or love to hate. I'm not sure which. Out of the light mechs, the Panther does have more armor and can take a few more hits than most light mechs, but at the cost of firepower. So most of you know that Panthers typically do not have a whole lot of weapon hard points available to them, and most of those are going to be concentrated in the right arm. So for you new players out there, I don't typically recommend you starting off with light mechs just because the learning curve of the game is hard enough, and the learning curve for light mechs is even harder because typically you make one mistake and you're dead. So I typically don't make those kind of recommendations, but if I had to pick a light mech for a brand new player, it might be something like the Panther and maybe even the Panther 10K, just because it does have more armor. You can take a few hits without dying. The weapon systems are pretty simplistic, so it helps with the learning curve that the mech isn't overly complex while you're trying to learn light tactics and learn the game. Speaking of which, that's what I'm going to throw out. I had an idea that some of the content that we would be making might shift a little bit, and I start making some more content geared towards brand new players to the game. I think new players coming in may not have all the resources and information they need, and the learning curve for the game is quite intense. Let me know in the comments below if that is something you would like to see happen, and if you'd find that content interesting as well, and we'll see what we can do about making that happen. So getting back into this match, the enemy has continued to push Echo 5, except for this lone Shadow Cat, and we're going to get a couple of shots in on him and try to drive him off and change his mind. I know he's out here trying to get angles on my teammates as well, but he's eaten a couple of heavy PPC shots, and it looks like he's electing to back off at this point. Now, I am a bit concerned. I see a couple of enemies on the map, but the score is only 4-4. That tells me that there's a whole lot more enemy units out there somewhere. The question is where. So I want to get in close to them, and here they are. They're all balled up here in the center. Get a shot off, pop up a UAV. That way my teammates can see where the bulk of the enemy formation is. I'm also going to use my jump jets, trying to get some shots off. My teammate kind of blocked me, and I didn't want to shoot him in the back. But I'm going to use maneuverability now to zip around the battlefield, adding fire support wherever I can. Specifically this Blood Asp, since he is open CT, let's see if we can't take him off the board. Teammate gets the kill, but that's okay. That's another mech down, and we're going to keep on the move. We're going to circle back around. I like this ridge line just because it allows us to jump up, shoot, and fall back to cover in a short amount of time, and that's going to minimize the amount of return fire that I'm going to take in this mech. I still see some enemies in that Charlie 5 area, and there is our friend Kilo, the Shadow Cat. His right leg is open, and he's pushing one of my teammates. In fact, he gets the kill, and we can't have that. So now he is going to become my sole focus. And we managed to leg him. So that takes away his mobility. I'm going to use my jump jets, land another heavy PPC shot, and the third one was the charm, and we get the kill. Now there is one enemy unit left. I don't have eyes on them. We're going to regroup in the center to keep the clock ticking down, and it looks like that last enemy unit is on the fringe somewhere. It looks like he's dancing in and out of the circle. But I want to group up with my lance mates for covering fire. And it looks like the enemy doesn't want to join in. So we finish up this drop with 1 kill, 10 assists, 554 damage done, and 5 components destroyed. Moving over to our next drop, this one finds us playing Assault Mode, and we are on Hibernal Rift. We're currently in Bravo 4, watching the enemy swing the Delta 4 corner. I'm sure that lone unit is going to have some friends, and sure enough, there they are. So the only drawback to this position is that little piece of ground sticking up. Since my weapon is mounted on the right side, low in an arm mount, that one isn't ideal for poking and peeking, so I do have to be aware of that. And it looks like more enemy units are now pushing into the area. I also need to be aware of the fact that we have a disconnected Atlas. You can see him there at the bottom of your screen, just kind of standing there. And I'm sure at some point the enemy is going to discover him and then he will be focused. Right now, I want to add as much support fire as I can and also lock up enemy targets, giving my team as much information as possible. Now the assassin's breaking off. It looks like he is trying to head over to Bravo 5. I just need to be aware of him if he tries to swing around and push me. The heavy PPC does have a minimum range, and I don't want to let an enemy unit underrun my minimum. If that happens, I'm definitely in trouble, so I do want to keep them kind of at mid-range would be ideal. But right now I've got some heavy units in the Charlie 5 low ground that I want to get some shots on, as well as just every so often keeping an eye on that pesky assassin over there. The teammate is moving over to engage, so hopefully he'll be able to push him out of the Bravo 5 area. In the meantime, I want to keep getting as many shots in as I can on the bigger, slower moving targets. And just checking. Oh, and here comes the assassin. He's coming straight through the volcano, and we're going to get a couple of shots on him as he swings around again, and it looks like he's had enough. He's definitely trying to move back off and regroup with his teammates, and that's probably a really good move on his part.
New target acquired.
Quickly checking the status, it looks like they're slowing down their push down the 4 line. I was expecting that just because typically on this map, in this mode, the enemy will push the 4 line and get an angle on our base. That's why I was so eager to set up in Bravo 4. And sure enough, the enemy did swing the Delta 4 corner. In fact, there's still a Corsair off to the left, hiding behind some terrain way at the back. And he's got some friends still on the Delta 4 corner as well. I'm getting low signal, and there is an enemy King Crab has pushed up, and he's got somebody with ECM next to him as well. That's why I'm getting a low signal. Let's swing around and see what we can see on the other side. It was a Cyclops, and he is down. There goes the ECM, but the King Crab is still standing there. I think he is focusing our disconnected Atlas, so that gives me the opportunity to get a couple of back shots on him. But I do have to drop back down. The Centurion looks like he wanted to push. Maybe not. I thought he was going to push me head on, but he has swung off to the side, and that's going to give me some breathing room to operate. See what damage I can get done. I'll get some fire support to my teammate who is still over in the Bravo 5 area, getting as many back shots as I can on that King Crab. Looks like we also have some missile support coming in from the outer fringe out towards Charlie 3. We must have some missile units. And now I'm going to relocate because I know it's only a matter of time before they head towards our base for the capture. This is probably not a good spot for me to be in. There's Kilo kind of pushing across above me. He doesn't see that I'm here, and that's going to allow me to escape off towards Charlie 4 a little bit more. It'll give me a little more range and a little more room to maneuver on this side. And sure enough, there goes some of the enemy trying to round the corner heading for our base. The Centurion has stayed behind. He is kind of... I can't tell what he's doing. I thought he was going to push me. If he were to push me, I would have a hard time fending him off if he underruns my minimum. As it is, he's staying at mid-range, allowing me to lock him up. I'm getting missile support from my teammates, which helps. And he's trying to make a break and fall back.
He's
going to push me. I'm not sure which. But here come the missiles again. His mech is really beat up. Both side torsos are open. Keep him locked. Keep firing on him. And his mech is chewed up. And we get the kill. Moving on further to the right, I can see there's a group of them trying to cap our base. That is less than ideal. However, anytime an enemy unit is capping your base, if you can do damage to them in the capture zone, it halts their cap for 5 seconds. So while my teammates move in, I'm just going to peek and poke and shoot whoever's in the center, slowing their cap progress down. And right now I see the rifleman has moved to the back of our base. I don't know what he's doing back there, but I want to focus his arms if I can and take down some of his firepower. He's still fairly fresh. Left torso is weak, and now he's lost a leg. His torsos are open. Here come the missiles, and he'll probably be focused down here in short order. In the meantime, I can also get some shots off on the Corsair, which I'm happy to do. And whoever is standing there in the clump, I don't really have to take too much time in aiming at this point, because as long as I'm aiming at our base, I'm bound to hit one of the 3 that are standing there. And now they've separated a little bit, so I just need to pick my shots more carefully. I do manage to score another kill on whoever was on the front corner, and the Corsair is still... He's hiding at our base, but my teammates are able to take him out, and now I can deal with the Thanatos. He's been using the terrain there for cover for this whole match, but that is not enough to stop the kill. So we finish off this drop with 2 kills, 573 damage done, 5 components destroyed.